Hello dear viewers, it's Miwija and welcome to Artistic Corner. In today's video we are going to travel back in time to a moment when a kind soul lent me her digital graphic tablet and it allowed me to create my first ever digital drawing, which is terrible! Honestly, sorry, it's terrible. It was terrible even back then for the skills I had already in 2017. And because of that, in this episode, I'm going to redraw this artwork, how I would do it today, explain what I wanted to do 5 years ago, and why this artwork failed, and what are the things that I decided to improve in the new version. So let's start with describing what it is really. So this artwork, it wasn't supposed to be any character design. It was just a drawing of my character, because back then I thought that drawing a character in an imaginary background was really a good artwork. Today I would treat it more as just a character design. Like, making character design is okay, but here I just wanted to make an artwork, but I made something that looks more like a character design. So, knowing what I wanted to do, I'm going to improve it in this new artwork that I'm going to make. It was my original character that I decided to draw, because first try it would be good to try a character. And first thing, I didn't have much skill. Like, at all, I didn't have much skill. I didn't really know how to draw. Obviously, I learned some basics, but it's been 1 year that I was drawing, 1 year and some months, to be fair. This is why this artwork wouldn't be able to be that good, no matter if I made it digitally or traditionally. But still, it would be worse, and it is, digitally, because I had no understanding of digital software. So, these are the biggest factors that made this artwork look as it does. Other things that I saw didn't work that well. It was the proportions, not many anatomical mistakes. For example, looking at how the feet stand, how long the legs are. It could have been a part of a style, and this is how I was treating it. So okay, let's accept it. But then, how could I accept the shirt that is supposed to be loose, but in the end it goes close to the skin and it doesn't fold in any way at all? The last thing, it is the facial expression that doesn't represent anything at all. So, with all that being said, I decided to improve this artwork by keeping the most important features of my character. So before drawing my character, her name is Ginger, I went to look for some reference photos on my favorite website, which is, as always, pexels.com. I started with a brief sketch and I was adding more and more lines to make it clear. This process took me about 30 minutes, then I decided to get more into the details. And as you can see, I already decided to change the pose, and the reason for that is that at the beginning I wanted to create an artwork, and I created something that was just a character in an empty space. This is why this time she is more representative of who she was supposed to be as my original character. So I was playing a bit with the colors, the layers, and I wanted to follow the original color palette. Even if I'm not a big fan of it, I think it wasn't the worst. This time the ambience was a very important thing for me. So after deciding on the basic colors, you can see that I was changing them many times to get a perfect match between the character and the background. At this point, I went into rendering. All of my layers were merged, And actually I struggled a lot with some clothes, especially with the t-shirt. And at every time I was making any radical change, I was saving my file, which you can see on the screen. I didn't cut this. So because the shirt was quite problematic, I decided to take a photo of myself, a reference photo that you're not going to see here. And I changed the folds, and I think it looks much better now. From time to time I was comparing the old versions with the changes that I made to make sure that it is exactly what I wanted to do. And other things that I decided to change, it is the cigarette in the hand of Ginger. And the reason for that is that I intended to draw a cigarette in the first drawing, but I didn't know how to do it. This is why I didn't make it. So this time the cigarette is right there in a good place. From what I learned from Whoop, I decided to make the skin quite soft, and the background and also the clothes more rough. And also, very important thing, I decided to give the face some personality. I also wanted to draw the tattoos that I made on the first version, but to be fair, I totally forgot about them. Making this artwork took me in total 3 hours of drawing, but it was a span of 2 weeks to make it happen. So I had a sessions of 15, 20 minutes up to an hour. So if you know, it was just to protect my wrist from hurting myself. So at this point the artwork was pretty much done. I decided to look for reference photos, not really reference. I wanted to use photos as a background to once again save myself some time. And so I used no copyrighted images. Then of course I transferred them into what I wanted to make, and I added some graffiti to even more represent the ambience and the personality of my character. And actually that's pretty much it. I hope that you like it. I hope that you're not really bothered by how I decided to change the pose and everything from the first drawing, but I think that it suits much more the vision I had at the beginning, but I didn't have skills to pull it off. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wonder what you think about redraws. Is it something that you do yourself? You know, when I redraw exactly the same thing, once again, it can really be a good way to compare my skill and my progress, and I really like it for that. Also, it's something that is kinda an easy solution for when I have an art block and I don't really know what to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it somehow entertaining. Big thank you for staying around, and I hope to see you next time, whenever it's going to be. Bye bye! Boom!